Good morning, welcome to Ekate's Crossing. Okay, welcome. It's been a while since I've actually done a video. I know there's been some releases, but they were videos that were for Ko-Fi and now being released to the public. But anyway, so I'm still working on the Beltane Oracle. It's been a very slow process. I have had some time off from reading cards. I've really sort of taken a bit of a self-care break. Family sort of come first in some on certain days. Definitely been a lot of self-care as well, being really super important. Anyway, so let's continue with this Beltane Oracle. Okay, for the first 3 weeks, 21 cards, right? Now I know in the shorts, if you've watched the shorts, I might be a little bit further along in showing you the cards that are available in the 7 cards per week, so I am a little bit behind in that sort of case, but I sort of want to go through another sort of look. Let's have a look at the first 3 weeks of cards. Let's do that first. Whew, it's so hot here in the caravan, and that's one reason why I sort of haven't been doing a lot as well. It's just fairly warm. Right, so they are the first 21 cards. Let's have a look at the next lot. Just give us a minute here to sort of pull out the next lot of cards here. So we're looking at 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Right, so let's have a look at these 28 cards. Now I haven't written them up on my bit of paper yet, which I need to sort of add to a book of some sort. I need to sort of sort them out. Anyway, so let's have a look at these next 7 cards. We've got Maiden, which is 22. We've got Manifestation. We've got Maypole, Milk and Butter, Morning Dew, then Oak, and Oracle. Okay, so let's have a look at the guidebook here. So as we went through, let's have a look. So Maiden is Reclaim, Maypole Celebration, Milk and Butter Belief, Morning Dew Stillness, Oak Wisdom, and Oracle the Spirits. Okay, so yes, I've been sort of looking at the cards and having a look at some of the meanings and reading the guidebook, which is great. But if you want to do those initial thoughts about what the cards could mean in a reading. Now this is quite interesting. It feels like there is... Oh, that's why. 1 minute. Let me just pause this a second. Okay, yeah, I did the overhead, even though it is slightly... still not quite 100%, but anyway. So there we are. So what I was saying was that even though we have the initial keywords that I'm sort of been mulling over and sort of getting to know using the guidebook, I think a lot of the times it's quite important that when we do a card for the day, we also think about what the image is telling us. What's our initial thoughts? What's our intuition telling us? How does the card make us feel in this moment? And so for this week I want to do not just what's in the guidebook and things like that, but also have a look at what the image is actually telling us and what the words tell us when we're looking at it. So let's do that first. Let's pick one card. And the card I've got here is Oak. Don't just look within. dive deeply into the internal realms of knowing. Now, when I see this card and I read those words, I think that we also need to sort of dive, not just what we know, but actually dive a little deeper within ourselves. And so that we have a true understanding of what we know. It's not just on what's within ourselves, what's that initial thought, but actually dive a little deeper. Dive a little deeper within ourselves. Close our eyes, meditation, reflection. I think there's a lot of that going on here. I think it's really about sort of diving deep within oneself. I think it's really about not just what's on the surface, but actually diving deep within. What's allowing us to grow and expand in many levels. Okay, so that's my initial sort of thought when I look about that. I look about that sense of looking at the roots of where we're going. Not just what's just below the surface, but really deep below the surface. I think it's very much for reflecting, for analysing, for deep perspectives. I think there's a lot of work going on here. So let's have a look at what this card actually means if we actually dive into it here. So I want a card to sort of reflect on. So the key word is wisdom. So like I said, not just a knowing, but a deeper, and not just knowledge, but a deeper wisdom that gives us that understanding. Wisdom is more about understanding the knowledge that we already have within us. So wisdom isn't a static thing. It evolves, changes and adapts as you learn new ways of knowing. Before you can be wise, you must be willing to accept that you don't have all the answers. Oak is here to change your perspectives. Like an old wise grandfather, Oak guides you to evaluate your beliefs to see if anything is out of alignment with who you are today. Perhaps what you knew to be true is now directly opposite from what you currently believe. Or perhaps who you thought you were supposed to be when you were younger is now completely different from who you actually are. Just like wisdom, your goals will evolve as time goes on. Some goals will be left behind while others will morph into something else entirely. It's important to regularly check back and with where you are, so make sure you are still situated on the most illuminated path. If you're confused about your next steps, Oak reminds you to reach out to the unseen support all around you. Commune with nature, the spirits and the universe, and ask them to guide you. Now in the book it does talk about other Beltane herbs, flowers and trees as well as part of that, but I'm not going to go into that right now. That's something that you can sort of dive into for yourself with belladonna, birch, hawthorn, etc. Okay, so wisdom. So it's that deeper understanding, deeper knowledge. Right, so what I'm going to do now is pick up all the cards for this week and add them to the previous 3 weeks. And what I'm going to do is just using the cards that I have. I haven't opened the other cards yet. We haven't looked at the other cards. So we're just doing... So we've looked at that wisdom that lies within us. It's a little bit deeper. So let's have a look here at what... Oh, here we go. Bonfire. It is through remembering that you will wake the ritual of your existence and be reborn in mighty celebration. So that to me is about remembering the past. It's about looking at the experiences of the past, the actions of the past, how you behaved in the past is all going to help you gain the wisdom that you need in your life. So let's have a look here. What's the next card? What else do we need to know about the oak? Oh, interesting. Okay, so 2 cards actually flew out. Here we've got Maypole and Oracle. Maypole says, I'm fertile in what I seed, for there is reason to dance and drink upon the riches I receive. So there is a sense of being ripe, being ready to look at those positive aspects that you've received in your life. Those riches, those sense of giving birth to something new in many ways. And then we've got Oracle, spirits of other worlds. Tell me tales of the unknown, tells me tales of the forbidden. So I think it's about connecting with the energies of the past. When I look at these three cards here, I'm getting this sense of a ritual aspect, giving birth to the fertility, germinating, creating your experience from the past, creating your experience of the past to gain knowledge, to gain the wisdom that you need. Interesting here. So let's have another little look at the Oracle card. And so with the Oracle, it's about connecting to the spirits of the world, the ancestors. I think this is a lot about connecting to, again, that connection to the past. Remembering the past is about remembering our ancestors, our spirits of the past, I think, in many ways. As we have this sense of celebrating our ancestors of the past, our intention, our rituals, our ceremonies of the past, our celebrating our ancestors of the past to gain knowledge, gain wisdom. Oh, interesting here. I'm getting a very sort of ritualistic summoning of our ancestors to gain the wisdom in many ways, to gain knowledge. Oh, wow. That's sort of quite an interesting look of it here when we sort of dive a little bit deeper into the cards. And that's what I love about the guidebooks. I don't want to forget about these guidebooks when we're diving into these cards, even for clients. I think it's very important that we can sort of give our clients, or give a little bit more guidance by not just what we see, and not by just what we acknowledge with the cards, but also remembering the guidebooks give us that little bit more information that we might need. So we get that sense of celebrating, taking pride, finding the happiness in the knowledge from our ancestors, the wisdom from our ancestors, from our spirits, from the past. Really interesting here. So I think this is a really great reading to sort of reflect on, take our time getting to know as we move through this for us. In this, remember, I'm in the southern hemisphere, which is why I'm exploring the Beltane Oracle. I'm in the southern hemisphere in New Zealand, so that's why I'm exploring the Beltane Oracle, as we don't yet have the Letha Oracle or Lammas yet. We don't have the Lammas Oracle yet. So Letha at the moment, and Lammas is sort of in February for us. So I really don't, so that's why I'm exploring, and I've got until March for Marbon. So that's why I'm exploring the Beltane as yet. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below, check the links on my channel, like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care, and blessed be.